Hello, welcome back to the Mr. Arsenal podcast for another match day watch along. This time, a complete neutral watch along, no attachment to it whatsoever in terms of who's playing. Arsenal involved also another again who's playing on that side of things. It's just literally, I thought I've been away since Monday. Since we last did our podcast, and I know I got stuck on Saturday with you. Obviously, the last day of the women's Premier League, or WSL, sorry. On Saturday, didn't watch on for that. Arsenal 100 Villa, plus on all the games taking part in the WSL. But again, title race still got to be decided, so things on that. And we'll be doing a couple preview for that and for the Sunday game tomorrow at some point. I'll decide for that at some point tonight. But anyway, but I thought, you know what? It's been a few days. You guys have been patient this week because, considering literally, you know, as a football fan, or in my case, a content creator, that when it's come to the end of the season, and the last week of the season is dead. I mean, it is dead. It's like there's not much really to do. So I thought, you know what? It's Man United versus Chelsea. Chelsea is shit. I hate Chelsea. I hate Man United, but it is what it is. Someone's going to gain something out of this, sadly, if results go the way we expect it to go, but it is what it is. But I thought, you know what, to make up for Sunday, in fact, I'm not going to be here Sunday because I bet the game was for the Arsenal versus Wolves side. I'll throw in a bonus sort of watch along with you guys for tonight. And as I say, I'll be doing two separate previews for the women's team and the men's team tomorrow. And then Saturday, obviously, doing the women's watch along, and then probably match no match a day, is there? So might even stick around, depending on time frame and all that. If I've got any plans and all that, anything like that, I might even stick around for the championship final in terms of the end result, because it sort of coincides the second half, I believe, of the women's game going sort of blends into the first start of the championship final. So depending on my mood, I might stick around for that as an extra, because normally we do it for the last few years. We have been doing the championship final, but because of all the scheduling this year, for some bizarre reason, they decided to put the championship final on the final weekend of the Premier League and WSL season. So yeah, sort of I might have to work with that. And then, as I say, I actually need to speak to Gary or someone to see if they can host on Sunday, because I'm not there, hence why I'm doing this. But yeah, I was blathering on now. Just literally, I was just like, yeah. But yeah, it's dead. I mean, this, as I say, you're at the end of the season, going to the last game. With it's dead. It is what it is. But oh dear. Got Tom. I've got a few people in the chat already. Got Tom. Says hello everyone. I expect a good clean show tonight. Well, good luck with that one, Tom. Do you not know this channel by now? Do you not know the regulars by now? That's not allowed, apparently. Good evening, says Stefan as well. Big up, Stefan. Hope you're keeping well, my friend. Oh dear. Hopefully you're looking forward to the new season. We'll starting to look forward to it, because obviously got a couple months before that gets underway. Oh, sorry, I've got my main screen up here, and there's obviously they're getting ready for the kickoff and all. And the camera they've got going, they test the stadium, that zooming thing is zooming away from the Stretford end, and just above where the tunnel where the players come out, you've got a clamour of United fans with a banner going Glazers out, like with the green and yellow scarves and all that. Don't get me started. Please don't get me started on that. the not hypocrisy, but the irony behind what they're trying to do. Glazers out, but they're looking to either set up or partial sell, eventual sell on, and all that. So you're kind of getting one way or the other. You're eventually going to get your way. No, they want out now. Fuck off. People say Arsenal fans are fucking playing in the arses. This is the team, by the way. These are the teams. I'm going to put the home team up first. Obviously got De Gea in goal. By the way, all Man United, because of Liverpool's result at the weekend, I don't know if we'll see Chris tonight, the Liverpool fan, but because of Liverpool's result against Villa at the weekend. All Man United need tonight is a point, and they qualify for Champions League with a game to spare. And at home, and it's Chelsea, so it's going to be probably more than a point, but I'm just putting it out there, the implications basically. De Gea, Lindelof, you got, I think now, bloody hell, go for, they didn't number order it, bloody hell. So Lindelof, we got, Bruno Fernandes and his captain, Martial, Eriksen, Casemiro, Varane, Anthony, Shaw, Sancho, and Wan-Bissaka on the bench. I've got going to the screen. I've got Butland, Dalot, Maguire. Can't get Man United 11 at any time. But I guess in England squad all the time. Ding. Malaysia, Fred, McTominay, Garnacho, Rashford, and Weghorst. And Chelsea. Let's put this down a second. Yes, I've had a haircut as well, Tom. What day is today? Tuesday, I think. Yeah, Tuesday? Tuesday, I had my haircut. I thought, fuck it, I do something. Go down, pop down the road. Thankfully, this time, for the last few times I've been beforehand, I've been getting the fucking barbers who use a butcher that doesn't like the rush through and butcher basically, and don't give a shit. They don't have no care. This time I actually got someone that gave a shit and took their time, and as you can tell, I'm happy with it. First one I'm happy with for a long time. Chelsea, I was at Chelsea. Teams are on my screen now, ready to come out. Yeah, I can't. I'll put a poll in the chat, by the way. Do take part in the poll if you can. Basically, the simple question: will Chelsea cause an upset tonight? I'm not bothered about who's going to win. It's like, can Chelsea cause an upset? But two options. I particularly like the first one, the first option, just because of how I've put in it. Oh dear, got to laugh. Again, that's when you know the season's dead. Oh dear, here we go. Just getting the team off my screen there for Chelsea, the away team. There we go. There we go. Got Capo in goal, Aspilicueta, aka Dave, Wesley Fofana, Sharaba, and Hall as their back line. Then Conor Gallagher hasn't played barely any all season. Suddenly, he's playing midfield with Enzo Fernandez. Champavenka, who scored against Arsenal the other week, Madueke, Karl Havertz, and Mudryk, who hasn't done anything since January when he signed for Chelsea. Mendy as well was on the bench. Got Gilchrist, or Gilhurst, or you can pronounce it. Gilchrist, I put it there anyway. Koulibaly is on the bench as well. Thiago Silva's on the bench. Just Chelsea have given up. We're not even bothering to stop you tonight. We put our best defender, Thiago Silva, on the bench. Loftus Cheek, Felix, one of the best attackers this season. Even he's only played half a season, says a lot. Christian Pulisic, who doesn't play for Chelsea at all nowadays. Ziyech, and for the attacking Fofana. Love this. I honestly didn't think you'd pop in, to be honest, Chris. I put the game on thinking we were in the top four, sort of chase the channel. You would have been top four if you had beaten Villa at Anfield on Saturday. Was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday when you played Villa. Either way, at the weekend when you played Villa, if you'd beaten them, you'd be in the top four, and you were taking us down to the last game. But yeah, bottled it. Okay. I'm impressed with Newcastle sponsoring themselves and getting away with it. I mean, Man City, they started it with Etihad Airways and all that. That's definitely, they technically got away with it, so we're going to be more blatant with it. 2 years, not even 2 years into it, we will be more blatant and see what happens. And everyone's lost their freaking minds. We've got really in the chat as well. Evening, such a shame that you're wasting your evening by watching the game. Enjoy it and hit the like. See you later. I'm making up for the fact I'm not here Sunday for you guys because I'm at the game on Sunday. So I'm trying to think of ways to make up for it. That's all. Otherwise, if I wasn't going to the game on Sunday, I wouldn't bother doing this tonight. I'll be brutally honest. Oh dear. Chris Nix, the king of Merseyside. If Chavsky score, excuse me for a while, as I need to see my mate Pickard's reaction. Oh mate, you and me both. I'll give. Oh dear. Oh, Chelsea kicking off as well. Okay. Newcastle and Man City can sponsor themselves, but if I do in a 88 man in town cupcake contest, it's cheeky. Oh dear. But you notice, we might get in trouble for saying this, but you notice though, all these owners, even when Roma was in charge of Chelsea with him for the 19 years he's in charge, not one time did he decide to have a Russian-based company or to be the shirt's main sponsor or the team's main shirt sponsor or anything like that. Not at all. The Americans don't do it. Oh, what? 18 seconds and almost got caught in there. The Yanks don't do it. The only teams that seem to do it are the Saudis and basically whoever runs the state of Man City, basically. That side of the world seem to think they found a niche and like, oh, we'll do that. We'll put our brand out to our own country and sort of push that narrative over there quickly, as soon as we could. Before you know it, the thing is, as I say about the Etihad, in terms of Etihad Airways being their main shirt sponsor and Man City, they soon as they're doing that as well. They did change the stadium name to from the City of Manchester Stadium to almost Chelsea are struggling already. Hey. City Manchester Stadium. They did change it to the Etihad almost simultaneously, and yeah, I mean, if the owners want to do that with Newcastle or St James's Park, I mean, Mike Ashley tried that a few years ago with his own company. Was it St James's Park? He tried to change it to the Sports Direct Arena. That didn't go down too well with the natives in Newcastle. So even though they might love the Geordies might love the owners and what they're trying to bring to the club and all that, they will not appreciate the name change of St James's Park to the Saudi Arabia, whatever the sponsor is, stadium or arena or anything like that. Alpha's in the big up. Alpha says 6 years on this date. Man United beat Ajax in the Europa League final in Stockholm 2-0. Goals from Pogba and Mkhitaryan. Yeah. And look at 6 years on. I don't want to be rude, but as a club, it didn't really kick on, did you? Sort of use that as a platform to push on, to go back to your glory days and all that. And obviously now 6 years on, in them 6 years, Pogba ran his contract down, left for Phoenix last summer, now back at Juventus. Mkhitaryan came to us, had a decent-ish stint at he first arrived, and his first full season it was under Unai Emery as well. It was all right. It was all right, and then just nosedived, and now he's at Roma. No, Inter Milan. He went to Roma. Now he's at Inter Milan, I think. In a Champions League final. He's at Inter Milan. He's in a Champions League final. I think he's at Inter, and yet. And he'd say 6 years on for winning that European trophy. You're now trying to get a point to secure Champions League football. But you're in a FA Cup final, to be fair. So against City, but you could win it. You never know. I'm just saying, oh bloody hell, that's massive! What the hell? Okay, Mudryk. Seeing Stefan say chance. There was a chance. There was a massive chance. I mean, Hall had acres of space. I mean, the entire right-hand side of Man United's defence is nowhere. Wan-Bissaka's ball watching him getting pulled into the centre. And Hall, to be fair, did the right thing. Tried to square it off to his teammate in Mudryk, and Mudryk just went and completely mistimed his shot. Just went, boom. Oh, there's the ball. Oh no. Fuck. I hit the air. Damn it. The empty yet. Big up, Guy. How you doing, Guy, my friend? Hope you've had a good week so far. It's saying this is again. Spurs are such a big club, but even the Leeds fans mocking Tottenham. Oh dear, you got to laugh. Oh dear. All free kick here, United. Oh dear. Oh, you got to laugh. Is it Luke Shaw's standing? Ericsson. Why is Luke Shaw? I don't know why. Ericsson, I can understand standing over. I don't know why Luke Shaw is. If I can say this now, if I can score somehow or if I can get an assist. Ericsson, I can understand. But Ericsson pulls it in. Oh my God. He's just going well. That's the subs Chelsea up this season. Not just under Lampard, under Potter as well. Look, Casemiro with the header, literally all the time in the world. No one tried. Uber's marketing didn't do a good job, basically, put it that way, because he just literally just ran off into space, jumped in the air, no one to stop him or distract him. He got a clean head to it, and Kepa just like, what? Okay, 1-0. Okay, after the net I'll go. Who was that? Fofana. What was Kai Havertz on him, actually? Fofana was on him at the end, somewhat, yes. But Kai Havertz, you put your striker, in inverted commas, onto the CDM. The five-time Champions League winning, La Liga winning, God knows how many times with CDM in Casemiro. You couldn't make it up. Frank Lampard to a T. Or the checking for an offside. I don't think he was offside. Lindelof was. But he doesn't influence play, does he really? Because Fofana, even though he's near Fofana, does he influence the play? I want. Even that's a bit offside actually. Then Lindelof's got to be the one because he's the one nearest. There's always next season, Tom. There's always next season in terms of Chelsea getting relegated. You never know. Tottenham might join in the Championship next season. I mean, following season, as in they get relegated next season. If you don't, I don't want you guys. All jokes aside, I don't want you guys to go say. How have you judged that one beyond? How? Okay, whatever. You know what? Whatever. Oh dear. I was going to point it off at Chelsea. The reason I was pointing that way because I've got Chelsea around next door that side. I'm assuming Pig is absolutely ecstatic. And as it stands, with an extra 2 points, Man United are doing what they need tonight. They are currently qualified for Champions League officially. Oh dear. If Potter was such a man further, they definitely would have. They definitely would have. Oh dear, bottle jobs. A lot of them. And with the extra 2 points, it puts them to third. Fucking hell. They've got the worst goal difference out of the top 5, and they're in third. Fucking hell. Bruno need to get on his feet. Just if on the part already, they've given up already. Oh, dude, I laugh. Stefan as well saying, "Oh, by the way, rest in peace of Tina Turner and Mike Joyce of the Smiths." Yep. Oh, this sad, extremely sad news this week. Obviously, these other people. There's another person that's ex-celebrity that's passed away this week, but we won't say nothing about that person because they sort of had a controversial end to their career, so we say, and they're not really liked anymore. So for the last 10 years, maybe even longer than that. I can't remember now, but either way, certainly put it this way: certain information came out about this person, and then career was over. Oh my God! Seriously, your finishing is diabolical, and yeah, it was, even though it was announced this week, it was like put out there by the UK media. It was like, okay, but do we care? Tina, you're the best, better than all the rest, says Tom. Yeah. The thing is, Chris, that's who I'm referring to, the other person. Oh, dude, I'm not sure. Not really. Hence why it's in the chat. But I'm not going to read it out, and I can't really put it on the screen because, yeah, that might get me the wrong sort of attention, so we say. Just a tad. Just a tad, Tom. But thing is, Tom, you asked for a nice clean chat today, and it's just gone. We've mentioned people passing and all that, and I obviously didn't mention the person's name, or the one who Chris has mentioned, and they're just like, yeah. Shame because I always respected Ralph as an artist, and that's the thing. Growing up, until it all came out, obviously, about 10 and 15. Well, I can't remember years ago. I can't remember how many years it was now. It was around the same time as Jimmy been exposed, even though he'd already passed 3 years prior to it all coming out about him. He'd already passed away, but obviously as that was all coming out, it then came out about Rolf as well, Rolf Harris. And obviously that went to court and all that. Got found guilty. Was sent down, and then obviously he served some time, but apparently, by the sounds of it, he got his health took a turn, and basically he got released early under house, but put into house arrest instead because he was due to go any time, sort of thing. So it's like, yeah. If it put it this way, if he wasn't a celebrity, he would have died in the prison still with the conditions he was in. But it is what it is. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, I'll get your last comments, Stefan, but I can't really go into that. But even though we all know and this, that, and the other, but again, that's not appropriate, really. Oh dear, not worth rehashing it up again as well. In other news, Philip Schofield's he's a prick as well. He's stepped down, aka been sacked from one of his jobs, and at the time before he becomes the next the modern day version, of Jimmy. Oh, allegedly, got to say allegedly, even though, yeah. Now then. Oh dear God. I don't care if anyone is gay, to be honest. No, not. You're on about Philip Schofield. That doesn't bother me in terms of him being gay. It's the way it's. It's more the fact of it was well known within the circles, I say, and then to how can I put this without getting in trouble? And then to basically use the platform you're working on to come out publicly, all because you're trying to put an NDA in place to stop certain information coming out about you doing something you shouldn't have done. Doesn't bode well for me. That's all I've got to say on that. Until that NDA ends and it's out in the public domain, we can't really go into it. But we've heard the rumours and all that malarkey with Philip and all that. So we just got to wait and see what happens, haven't we? Yeah, exactly, Chris. Yeah, let's just say that he hired assistants, like Chris says, that he liked. Let's just put it that way. Read between the lines and you'll figure it out. If you don't know the information that's already out there that he's trying to hide. Oh dear. I believe he came out as gay to control a narrative and hide his. Yeah, exactly, Tom. That's what I'm saying. I've got friends from college and all that came out a couple of years after college. We met from college and all a couple of years later. So for what 10, 15 years now, they've been out as gay or whatever. That's never been a problem to me. As long as they're happy and they're not caught, not doing anything they shouldn't in terms of illegal, I'm cool. Oh dear. But it's more the fact that he's, as Tom says, yeah, he came out to control a narrative that was coming as surfacing around that time, shall we say. And now that narrative is about to hit the narrative is about to hit the fan basically, and that certain people are sort of trying to cover their asses and saying nothing to do with us. We had nothing to do with it. We didn't know, and to the point where our TVs had to go. Sorry, off you go. Sorry, Philip, piss off. Oh, exactly. Again, Tom. That's what I'm saying. When you look back over the last 20 odd years, they've been both hosting that bloody show on ITV. The amount of times they've mentioned over the years, well before he came out as well, about going on holidays, family holidays together with the kids, this, that, and the other, and the families, and going away together abroad. She knew all well and good. She knew the animal of what he was. Not just in terms of what is waiting to hit the fan publicly, but obviously his general behaviour, his general demeanour. She knew all this. But as soon as it's about to hit the fan publicly, like officially get put out there, like you say, Tom, she's like, no, nothing to do with me. I didn't know. Go off, go away. Don't want to work with him. He's scum. But she's just as bad as him, basically. Because, like you say, she's let it slide for how many years? Allegedly. Can't keep saying that because obviously he's not out there yet, and yeah. Was this going to be two? No. Martial's crap. Martial needs to go. If they don't want to kick on, they need to get rid of Martial. Because you didn't have a problem with Philip last September in the Q gate situation. they stuck together through that, didn't they? We were damn as media workers. You're not media. You're fucking TV, fucking personality TV hosts of a fucking entertainment fucking morning show, for God's sake. You're not media. If that's the case, I'm media. Where's my free pass to get past accused in the fucking stupid cock in the morning? Yeah, it's called preventing the course of justice, Stefan. That's what the legal terms of knowing something, never reporting it, even if it has, especially if that thing's been reported and you've stepped back and gone and pleaded ignorance, but it comes out you do know, you're preventing the course of justice, so you can be done for that. But imagine how Stefan, I sort of feel bad because Stefan did a nice thing in terms of his like rest in peace Tina Turner and all that. And obviously I've then gone on to say not mention the person's name, but someone else died this week. We're not going to go into it, because of they had their career ended, so we say, or came to an abrupt end, so we say. And we've and the chat's just gone in from that. Now it's like Philip and Holly, like says how bad this game is. 20 minutes in, by the way, and it's literally all United. Chelsea, it's like, yeah. I might even change the poll in a minute the way this game is going. Oh dear. Yeah, exactly. Is that as well? Yeah, there's not going to that side of thing. Let's just stick to these shorts. Let's not even go to that side of fucking well. Get there, Tom. Jesus Christ. We'll be all fucking day. And the thing is, Weinstein's not the only one. Let's be honest there. He ain't the only one. There's others have been more coy about it, so I say, clever. Especially since he got outed, they're fucking getting the lawyers in, the NDAs and everything, you name it. I mean, for fuck's sake, if Donald Trump can stand for president and get in for a full term, and look at the stuff he was doing before that in terms of and how open he was about it, he's like, yeah, and what? I've got girl women by the, you know what, and what? I'm a guy, I can do what I want, and he got in on that. With all that out there, he got in. And he's trying to get back in now. That doesn't say much to America, let's be honest. Jesus Christ. No, that's fine, Stefan. When it comes to them sort of people, it's fine. I understand that, it's fine. Oh dear. I wish there was another game on. Genuinely wish there was another game on there. On a plus side, Man City dropped points yesterday. Woohoo! Or was it mess? If only it meant something, them dropping points yesterday. If only we'd beaten Brighton and beaten Forest, that could have meant something yesterday in dropping points going into the last game. But hey, it is what it is. Donny's my favourite comedian. Says Donny? Yeah, Donny said, yeah. Oh dear. Oh, Chelsea corner. Let's hang on a bit. Okay, I've got sound on this. Either the commentators aren't doing their job or it's just dead silent there. There's a fucking speaking very softly into their microphone, put it that way. Chance? No, go away. Won the ball, get up. Anthony acting like he'd been sniped. Anthony is acting like he's been sniped in the kneecaps, going, throwing his arms up in the air and everything. Didn't touch his knees, but okay, he won the ball fairly. This is where it comes back bites me off and he torn his ACL. It's the end of the world. To be fair, Fofana, I think that's Fofana. Made the challenge. He won the ball. From what I could see. Oh dear. Fucking hell. Couldn't just hang on. It's wrong place. Big up, Sam. How you doing? Oh dear. I don't know why I've done this. Well, I know why I've done it. Obviously, I said it earlier. It's like because I'm not here Sunday, so I thought I'd throw this in just as to make up for it, and it sort of backfired because the game's shit. The thing is, if I'd done this yesterday, Man City would have fucked. If I'd done this yesterday for the Man City game, that would have been an absolute Man City trounce, and they would have fucking walked away with it. I put myself through misery with Man City recently, so I'm not going. I wasn't going to take risk last night. Sorry, guys, but I'm not going to take that risk again. Oh. You're solid with your watch-alongs. It helps me get through the week. Oh, there's a positive. I mean, Masher's getting ready to warm up, but get ready to come on. As I said, the only reason I'm doing this tonight because obviously the week's been because it is the last week of the season, Premier League-wise. Nothing really to talk about. We'll be doing previews tomorrow about the girls and the men's matches this weekend separately, obviously. But yeah, not much really to do or talk about really in terms of Arsenal-wise until tomorrow. Just save it all for sort of stock it all in and save it all for tomorrow's uploads or whatever. So I thought, and again, as I said, I'm not here Sunday. I'm at the game on Sunday, so I thought, you know what, just chuck this in for the sake of it and see what happens. But Anthony's almost getting the stretcher put. This might be season over, but if he's getting a stretcher, that might be season done. Looked like a clean tackle to me. It must be how he landed, because the tackle itself was clean. He's obviously done damage to himself as he's gone down, basically from the challenge. Yeah, it looks like his season's done, so he won't be in the FA Cup final. Depending on the injury, could be out for the start of the season as well. Could, depending on the injury. And obviously, yeah, so I'm doing the women's watch along on Saturday. Might even, as I said earlier, might even stick around for the, depending on what mood I'm in after that final whistle of the game. I might even stick around, stick the stream around for the championship final as well. Stick around for that between Coventry and Luton. And then yes, see if anyone's around to host on this channel on Sunday, hopefully. Might do a bit of filming and all that malarkey down at the Emirates as well on the day itself in general, but vloggy sort of thing, I don't know yet. Maybe, I don't know. Either way. Podcast on Monday. And then the Cup Finals watch along. So Europa Conference League between Fiorentina and West Ham. I'll be covering that on the channel as a neutral, just for the sake of we did the Conference League final last year, me and Andrew, so we might as well do it again this year. West Ham's involved, so you never know. Europa League final being Sevilla and Roma might be dead, but just fuck it, why not? We're doing that for the last few years as well. And Champions League final we're definitely doing, even though we do know who's going to win that Saturday. We'll try and get a few. I'll try and get a few of the usuals, the old going back together for that one, and then After that, we go from there in terms of other content. Obviously, trying to reach out to Mike and see if we can get his quizzes back for the summer as well, to sort of fill gaps every week for the summer. Sorry, and then depending on my own life schedule and all that, and the actual schedule of the World Cup itself, I might even cover it more. I might be able to cover that for the England games. I might, depending on timing and all that. Because obviously the World Cup's been hosted in New Zealand and Australia respectively. So, and then pre-season, I'll be covering all the pre-season games here on the channel as well, for Arsenal related, and any transfer and all sort of anything transfer worthy news wise to talk about. I'll be doing stuff for that as well. Yeah, so just keep yourself busy and I'll keep the content flowing as much as I can throughout the summer as well. Ready for the new season. My usual live reaction to the league fixtures, the new league fixtures as well. Be doing that. That'll be like a half-hour show of that maybe. But yeah, and then obviously before the season starts, bringing back the what we did once upon a time. Me, Sam, I think John and Harvey did a kit review or kit reaction sort of reaction / review live stream, and to say it was entertaining is an understatement. I mean, the fact that either Coventry or Luton are coming up, and the last time we did a Premier League kit reaction or review show, Coventry wasn't even in the Premier League, and Sam had something to say about Coventry even then. So God forbid what he's going to say about their kit if they come up. That's all I'm saying. Oh, if that was the case, I'll just literally go live. I'll literally come around Sunday morning, set everything up for Sunday. Literally just go live, say hi for about half hour, disappear to the game, and leave you all to it. You know, just let you all chat amongst yourselves, and there'll be a blank screen. That'll take us. Oh dear. And Chris, if you think you'll get your head kicked in, oh, another chance, and way wide. Kai Havertz, pile of shit. £90 million they spent for him, by the way. He's standing outside of and pointing up like Nelson the Simpsons. In this group, none of us are exclusive. God. I'm sure you do, because why would I not be surprised by that? As I said the other day, I'm just saying now, basically, bring that back in the summer as well. But what do I think now? Probably a week in the week build up to the season starting, basically. So after Community Shield, between the Community Shield, the final whistle of the Community Shield, and before the first game kicks off, we'll be doing that, chucking that in the schedule as well. So I need to sort that out soon. Once we know the fixtures and all that, and who's on TV and this, that, and the other, and what day or what night the season gets underway, I'm going to figure out in that week sort of thing when we can do that, basically. Because by then, hopefully all the kits will be out by then. I like the burger stand as you come out of the train station. Delicious. What the Arsenal train station is coming out of Arsenal. Literally, he's not joking, guys. As you come out of the Arsenal train station, you've got your little shoppy thing adjoined to the station there. And across from there, directly across, you've got a little stall thing with Arsenal merch and all that. And and across the road from that is this burger van, basically, burger, hot dog van, and all that malarkey. And then further down from that, I think they do like pulled pork burgers and things like that. for the game and all that, and all the other stores in it going all the way around basically. Yeah, that's cool. So big. If Coventry come up Saturday, that's what I'm going to say. If Coventry do come up on Saturday, no matter how bad their kit may be, don't slag off the local area of Coventry again. Maybe go for their neighbours if that's okay. Oh dear, got to laugh. This game's fucking dead. What have I done? What have I done? Oh dear. Oh, should have passed it, Sanchez. Should have passed it. United are having a lot of chances here, being very wasteful just because they're playing. They're being very wasteful. This game should be done and dusted already, scoreline wise. Other than that, they're not going at it. They're just having the chances in the game. And Chelsea had a couple, but they've been wasteful. Literally a couple. Mudryk having one of them and just hitting it basically. Go came in, by the way. Go did come in and he said hi. I said hi back. He disappeared. Rude bastard. Oh yeah. The Midlands got a lot of scrutiny from me last time. The Midlands, in terms of the thing is, the funny thing was though, Sam, it weren't just the Midlands teams that were in the Premier League already. It was even the Midlands teams that haven't been in the Premier League at all for God knows how long, including Coventry. Just randomly, Coventry's shit. Go maybe that's real scum. That's your opinion. Don't tie us over that bus, Chris. Oh dear. Oh, she visited Birmingham. Look, this is not sunny Spain. This is not Catalonia. Fuck off. This is nothing like Catalonia, you lying bastard. Go away. I'm going home. Oh dear. Absolute metal mayhem. Oh dear. Come on, Reading. Save yourselves and put Chelsea in the mud. Come on, Reading. Anyone else visits? Anyone who visits Luton realises why still have nuclear weapons. Like, I mean, if you didn't realise that by going to that home as a Luton fan or an away fan, you didn't realise that as you're walking towards houses and having to go through an alleyway into people's back gardens to get to the stadium into the stadium. If you didn't realise that then, you may have to rethink your life. Sorry, Luton, but it's a bit concerning when you're coming up through the leagues and all that, and suddenly in the last couple of years, as you're redeveloping, adding more structure to your stadium, in inverted commas, it turns out you're fucking surrounded by houses. The people, away fans in particular, got to go through the houses to get into the stadium. Oh dear. I remember the best part of that, aside from obviously you snagging off every part of England outside of fucking North London, outside of our at the N5 basically of London basically, was when we got to the Newcastle away kit at that point. I think we'd done the home shirt, but we got onto the away one, and it was like basically a brightly luminous yellowy thing. Puma being Puma at that time, had knocked up for Newcastle. And we always make the jokes. Obviously, you could get into the, you could literally wear it as a dustbin man, or working down the fucking mines, or literally if you're on a train, if you're working on the train tracks in the underground and all that. And as we're about to review it, we've all slagging it off, including Harvey, by the way, the Man United fan. He goes, you know what? I love it. And John just got up and went, you fucking what? Walked out. Just walked out of the thinking Harvey was being serious. Oh dear. I haven't seen Harvey for a while, actually, to be honest. He reaches out every now and then, we have a chat and all that, and he keeps saying he wants to come back on and all that and catch up. But then, yeah, obviously, yeah, hard now, not in lockdown and all that, but it is what it is. But, yeah, not as has been as chat as he used to be and all that, but yeah. I haven't seen him not even in the chat, I haven't seen him for ages in the live chats. And he spoke to me. Yeah, he spoke to me recently, actually, in the last couple of months. Because my new Instagram account and all that. Oh, yeah. Watford sucks. Yeah, Watford just Watford. What do people expect with Watford? Now, the Queen Centre at Watford is a nice shopping centre. Just a shame about them. All the zombies in it. They got Hawkwind in the shop. They got Hawkwind. How you doing, my friend Troy? Mr. Bungle, haven't seen Mr. Bungle yet, by the way, before you ask. Hasn't popped in yet. Might do at some point, but he's probably a bit busy at the moment. But yeah, just letting you know, he hasn't popped in yet. Fuck me, this game. Why did I do this? Seriously, what have I done? Why have I put us through this? Oh, gotta go. Yeah, he's at KFC. Probably. Oh dear, bless him. I'm moving away from Russell Hill in a few months' time. Hope I don't move to shithole. I'm sure you're in control of that, Chris. So if you do, it's of your own doing. Housemaid, oh God. Oh, do I now? Oh, do I? Oh dear. Got a lot because obviously anyone that's laughing, think I've dropped the fact off. Anyone that's like coming across the channel for the first time, wants popping in as watching at the moment, me interact with you guys and vice versa. They must have think we're a bunch of fucking crackheads. It's like, what the fuck? There's a football watch on. We've been talking about football on and off, but we go from talking about football to paying our respects to Tina Turner and all that, to going down to Philip Schofield and Rolf Harris Avenue and having that discussion for a while, back to football, and now we're talking about fucking how bad certain parts of the country are, including Watford and Luton. Spurs, yeah, mate, I'm not. Yeah, exactly, Sam. Spurs still can't find them. Again, I called it. When they sacked Nuno Espirito Santo and brought in Conte, I called everything. I said this would happen again. I fucking called it. I said it won't happen. Nothing will change with Conte. 18 months down the line from when they got hired, we'll be back to where we were. and basically they'll be looking for a new manager. They won't be able to find anyone, and where do they go after Conte? Basically, because there'll be no when it doesn't work. When it doesn't work, not about if it, when it doesn't work with Conte and he gets sacked, where do they go from here? And again, it's like carbon copy when Mourinho left or got sacked. Sorry, it's just they ain't got a clue. Daniel Levy's reputation precedes him now, and literally no one, not even Pochettino, the club legend that is Poch, would rather go to Chelsea in the mess that they're in than go back to Tottenham and work under Daniel Levy. Fucking the final manager this morning, that was brilliant. That was brilliant to wake up to. Though. I woke up 7:30 this morning, went down, had done myself a coffee. Just sitting down about 5 minutes into having my coffee and all, my first coffee of the day. And Sky Sports News on, and then suddenly just breaking news. And it's like final manager Stop, whatever his name is. I can't remember his name now. Basically saying final manager not going to Tottenham, they're staying at final. Put a statement out, and they read out a statement, and I was like, "Told you, thank you." No one wants them. I mean, fucking no girls. No. Why? This is the other thing. Tottenham fans want. There's Tottenham fans going, "Oh, we want no Gelsman." Why the fuck? One sec. Oh, much more. Gallagher. Cuffs it wide. Why the fuck would, even though it didn't end well, for some whatever reason it didn't end well at Bayern Munich, why would now Gelsman go from Bayern Munich, a club that's notorious on winning silverware, where he's actually won silverware in his first season, he won the title for that sake, I know it's not hard, but you know what I'm saying, normally anyway. What they won he won the title. He's won cups. I think he won the German Cup as well last year. I think. Don't hold me to that. But they're famed for that. Why would you go from that and downgrade? And I mean fucking downgrade to Tottenham and haven't won nothing since 2008. Funny what was in the chat the other day when Brighton beat us in the league a couple of weeks ago. At full time, my brother called me. He was on the phone. You can go back and check it out now. To the point where I'm on the phone and all that. Even my brother, and we all know my brother, by the way, in this channel. he's like the usual digs at our club, or Arsenal, for the neutrals in the chat. Even he said that he said basically along the lines of, just be thankful, at least it isn't Tottenham that could pick you to the title. It's not a direct rival in terms of a local rival like Tottenham. I think it's Man City. And I said, because obviously, as he's saying, there's Tottenham fans popping in the chat, giving it the big I am. And he's like, what are they fucking piping? His words were, why are they fucking piping up for? They ain't won nothing. They haven't won nothing since 2008. And even then, it wasn't a big trophy. Like, yes. I actually did grab that clip up, actually. Screen grab that up, actually, and put that on my socials and all that. That's brilliant. I was like, yay. I got him now, thank you. But even he says, even he says it, he's saying it how it is when it comes to Tottenham. Yes, every now and then he'll say something because he knows it'll try and wind me up. If I'm not in the mood, if I'm not in a good mood, he's like, I know what'll wind him up. I'll try and big up Tottenham. But when it's on a reel, he says it how it is like myself. They're shit. They ain't won. The League Cup wasn't a major trophy. Oh dear. And listen, since then we've won four major trophies? 14, 15, 17, 20, 20. Yeah, 4 major trophies. It's a compliment. Well, any serious manager will see that what's happened to Mourinho and Conte. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. And this is what I'm saying, because it didn't work under Mourinho. It didn't work under Mourinho. And even he's had a dig, actually. I don't know if you guys have seen that, actually. He's had a dig today in his press conference ahead of the Europa League final. Sorry, not the conference, but the Europa League final itself. He was in a press conference and all that. And even he's had a dig at Tottenham saying, basically, of all the clubs I've ever managed, I've always got that sort of connection. No matter what happens, I always have that connection in every aspect, emotionally, and moving. It's just in general, there's a connection with the club and the fans. He said, but I have that everywhere else but Tottenham. I just don't have it. I don't know why. The fans weren't in the stadium for most of my time there. I got sacked before the final. Only Tottenham, I said this. And what money? It was the final for the fucking trophy they won in Translate. It wasn't even a major trophy. Fuck's sake. But the point is that it didn't work on Mourinho. They sacked him. Only Tottenham would sack a manager that gets them to a final and potentially could have won that final if he'd stayed in charge. Only Tottenham could do that. And and the Tottenham fans deluded themselves into thinking when Conte coming on, it'll be different this time. Levy's learned from his mistakes. Done the same thing as last time. I said it. You're backing for the first couple of windows. The first winter window in January, you're backing, giving me what he wants. It'll look like he's been backed in his first and the first summer window, and it's just all fall apart. And what happened? It all fell apart. And the thing is, we're also getting slated, by the way, for not winning this title because we were top of the league for most days of the year this season and all that crap. At 93% of the season, 2-0. Yeah, game over. It game over. It was 1-0 to be honest, but yeah, game over. Yeah, so we get snagged off. We're literally not dominant, but we've been top of the league for the most of any. We've been top of the league for the most of any other couple this season. We didn't win the league. This season was their best start to a season ever as well. And look where they're finishing. As it stands, they're going to finish that side of Europe. But I don't see anyone fucking snagging them off. I don't see the media calling them up for their failings. Joke. Yeah, we're held to a high because we're Arsenal. We are big. We are a big club, so we should be held to a higher standard. But you know what I'm saying. What happened to Villa Boas? He was a promising manager. Well, after he promised him, and then obviously he got sacked at Chelsea. Got another chance with Tottenham, and then I can't remember. They're shit anyway, but they had a decent enough. I can't remember why he got sacked actually, but he got sacked either way. He didn't work at Tottenham either, and since then, I think he's gone abroad since then. I think Zenit St. Petersburg at one point. I don't know if he's still there now. He started to sort of rebuild his career basically elsewhere abroad. He hasn't come back to England since. And it's half time, I think. But Spurs are the only club he never won anything with. In terms of Mourinho, yeah. He's won even like he's gone to Roma. He's left since Tottenham, sacked him. He's turned up at Roma and won them in his first season, by the way, last year. Won them their first European trophy in their history, and he's now on the verge of winning their second European trophy a year later in the Europa League. But Tottenham. He even won a fucking Champions League at Porto in 2004. I mean, if we got to the final ourselves, it would have been a different matter, but that's not the point. He won a fucking Champions League with Porto. Porto. In this day and age. I know it's 2004, but you know what I'm saying? In the modern era, he's won a Champions League with Porto. They weren't beating Man City, even if they replaced Alex Ferguson. Are Chelsea the most underperforming team in modern history? When you look at the players that on paper and the money they spent and the sort, they're massive. When you look at the money they spend and you look at the players they've got, in terms of they've had, going from the last regime ownership wise, and then the players have brought in since under this new regime. They should not be anywhere near 12th/13th in the league. They shouldn't be. Let's be brutally honest there. But they are. To be honest, I'm an Arsenal fan. After 19 years of their bullshit, I'm loving it. And I hope it continues next season. I imagine they bought Poch and it gets worse. Fucking hell. Marseille, went to Marseille as well. Yeah, because I'm saying abroad. He's gone abroad and all that, yeah. And saying something like, congratulations on being smart enough to interview me. It's top tier shit house. Didn't they actually give him the job as well for that? I swear you managed at Marseille, or was it somewhere else in France? At some point. He's having, because of how things went in his career in England, he hasn't come back since Tottenham. But he's had to go abroad elsewhere and sort of rebuild his career abroad, basically. But even now, he's rebuilt to a point, but he doesn't want to over-exceed clear because I don't know. Just hasn't, yeah. And that was Villas-Boas at Chelsea, and then Tottenham was so now we fast forward in how many years we fast forward into? It's now the ex-Tottenham going to Chelsea now, manager-wise. Chelsea now making the mistakes of what Tottenham did all the years ago, Villas-Boas. I think was it after it was Villas-Boas, and then obviously I think it's Tim Sherwood. As an interim or what you want to fucking call it, until end of season, whatever. No, it was meant to be. And it obviously got given the job full time for some bizarre reason. And so it was Villas-Boas, then Tim Sherwood briefly for about a season and a half, and then after Tim it was then Poch, wasn't it? And then since Poch, Mourinho for a year and a half or so, nothing, zilch, kaput. On them though, because I think I'll be honest, if they'd kept him for that final, it might have been a different outcome in that final. That's all I'm saying, and I wouldn't have liked it. But either way, it didn't work out there. Then it was 20,000 interviews later, interviewing 30,000 managers throughout the whole world football. We went back to that 8th choice in the event. The thing is, knew that initially turned him down in the first place. He was about to go elsewhere. I think I'm trying to think where it was now. He was about to. I think it's Turkey. He was about a club in Turkey. He was about to sign for. And then Tottenham went in at the last minute and offered him just through the checkbook. We want. We're desperate. Okay, I'll come if you insist. That's the season on the summer when Harry Kane was doing the twerking for Man City. But no one mentions that, by the way, because he's a professional apparently. Yeah, and then that well, gotta love Tottenham fans though. Three games into the season, top of the league. He's a god. We love Nuno. Yeah, we're winning the title. Woohoo! 3 games later, he's a fraud. Get him out, man. Arsenal catching us. What's going on? Yeah. And then he was sacked. Conte was brought in. I called what was going to happen, and we're now back at they're interviewing every manager in the world, including probably the Wrexham manager, and even he's thinking, "Now I'm happy winning trophies at Wrexham. Thank you very much." Oh dear, and I'm just sitting here loving it. I'll be honest. I think it's only going to get worse for him as well. It's only going to get worse for Tottenham next season. I can't wait. Oh dear. Imagine. Tottenham fans going, don't be ridiculous. It can't get worse for us. It can only get better. No. You could be relegated. I'd love it. If next season they completely capitulate, no matter who they bring in. Imagine they get so bad they actually give Ryan Mason the fucking job. And Oh my god, yeah. I'll be so happy. And they put themselves into a relegation scrap. It's like, and they just, as a club, to capitulate over the next couple of years and eventually get relegated. Oh my god. That would be brilliant. Back to the good old days. Oh god. How did he not know this one, Sam? It's your team. You got Spencer in the chat as well. Big up, Spencer. How you doing? Chris says Spurs are the first team in English football history to be first after 3 games and be overtaken by the bottom team in 3 games later. Yep. And I loved it. I absolutely loved it because it was obviously we pumped in the fucking North London derby to do that. So, way. Fucking cheated Celtic in the UEFA Cup final. Yeah, that was a week. I remember that final year in 2003. Yeah, 2003 because they went in 2004 Champions League, 2003. Yeah, that was a weird one. That was it. To and throwing in terms of that was goals galore that final. Bloody hell. Henrik Larsson. Was it Henrik Larsson's swan song as well that year? Or was it a couple of years later for Celtic? Back when the Scottish clubs in terms of Celtic and Rangers doing well in Europe was a good thing and was regarded as a top club in terms of their league as well, even though it was obviously straight shootout between them two still. It wasn't like it is nowadays. Well, they were an exciting team in the 1990s, but it was all corrupt, wasn't it? I can say that about fucking PSG, PSG are not winning anything in Europe. It's domestic dominance. As I said this overnight to Andrew on the podcast, we're going down, the Premier League's is now officially in that route now of unless the Premier League get their head out their arses and actually throw the book at Man City and find them guilty on all these charges they've brought against them. We're now officially a Farmers League, like the Bundesliga, like La Liga, sort of, because it's always the same 2 teams, and occasionally Atletico will pop in and go hi and disappear again for a few years. Stefan, don't you remember Stefan last season? First 3 games we lost. Remember Brentford, we lost 2-0, 5-0 the next week against Man City, and 2-0 at home to Chelsea. And then it was international break. It was just bizarre. I fucking can't stand it. I don't remember it being this. I don't remember having this many international breaks in the season. By the way. Also, when the season started, obviously your first match day would be on the weekend, and match day 2 was midweek. It'd be played on midweek, like literally, like for example, if your first game of the season was on a Saturday, your second game of the season would be on the Tuesday to Wednesday after. And that was a regular thing. That was always a thing until like the last 10 years. Suddenly that stopped. It's just now weekend to weekend. It's like, and now we're going down this route of literally everyone's got the last game of the season's got to be played on a Sunday. And everyone's got to play at the fucking same time, even if it's something to fight for. If there's something to fight for, fair enough. You schedule it that way, fair enough. But all it's to fight for now for this something in particular is fucking relegation. Sorry, don't to remind you, but yeah. Oh dear. I didn't mention the SPL because I don't. There's not enough teams really for me. Is it 12 teams? And the way the format is now down in the SPL as well, it's not like a normal league really in terms of, because obviously it's normal to the point until like the last month and a half, and then you have that breakaway like the top 6 players have to play. It's like the top 6 and the bottom 6 after a certain point. and the top six will have to play each other again one more time, and the bottom six will have to play each other again one more time. And then there's a automatic relegation, and then there's a playoff to stay up against the team, against a playoff for the team that comes second in the division below. But no, I've not included them this time round. Don't worry, Stefan. Even though it's a bit ridiculous nowadays, but it is what it is. But it's always been like that. But it was before they messed about it back in the day in the early 2000s. Even when it was just Celtic and Rangers winning the league, it was always going down to the last game of the season. Decent top players in that league as well, playing for both your clubs. And since that era's gone, then players either retired or moved on, etc., respectively. Then they had the debacle of Rangers being demoted all the way down to the bottom tier of Scottish football, to work their way back up again as a new club. The SPL has literally become the most one-sided league in the world, and well, in Europe anyway. Okay, in the UK, I'll give it in the UK. Saying because obviously I'm saying that PSG. Normally PSG walk away with it. Normally Bayern Munich walk away with it. And now we've got Man City doing what they're doing. I mean, the time is going to come when it's going to get back to that time where it's literally Celtic. It's obviously you won't be able to call it in terms of Celtic or Rangers. Celtic, it's got to be one of the two, but you won't be able to say spot on, definite without going into that season. And when that happens, it gets back to that. That'll be the beneficial for the league, really, not just domestically, but also in the European point of view as well, in terms of competing for Europe. I just want to fucking love it. Make the most of it. What? Rangers need that stability now. In terms of managerial side of things, they need that stability. Gerrard, I've said it before, Gerrard fucked them last season, fucking off to the way he did. Because it looked like they had that stability there and that belief in Gerrard and what he was doing, and then suddenly, after Villa from Premier League come along, obviously his long-term project is Liverpool, and he's thought, oh fuck it, I need to prove myself in Premier League. They won't just hire me in the back of what I'm doing at Rangers, and I need to come down a proper league that I'll be in with Liverpool. So I need to prove myself, and obviously that backfired, thankfully. But in doing that, it fucked them up basically, domestically, and then I didn't have to do the whole get the structure back in place and see what happens next season. Now they've got like 5 or 6 players leaving. Kumo Morales, who should have gone fucking long time ago. If I'm being honest, he's as a striker too hot-headed. You can't rely on the guy to stay on the pitch for 5 minutes. And it's all about now what Rangers do in terms of going out and this summer and bringing in the obviously top replacements basically. But we'll see. Chris saying in the chat, please, Everton go down. Don't you want your annual 6 points, Chris, in your Merseyside derby? Oh dear. Brighton phoning it in against Everton has saved them. It looks like it. It's in their hands, obviously. It's in their hands going into Sunday. They've got the easy. They've actually got the easier fixture of the 3 as well. All 3 clubs that could go down, fighting for survival, all at home. They're at home to Bournemouth. Leicester at home to West Ham. And West Ham obviously got 1 eye that Conference League final, so they want to keep sharp on that. So Leicester are fucked. I've said it. They should have gone down. They should have got thumped on bloody Monday night. It's just more luck than anything. That ball didn't want to go in the net basically for Newcastle. Otherwise, that could have been an absolute thumping. They would have been gone. It would have been a straight then shooter between Everton and Leeds. And obviously Leeds are at home to Tottenham. And I think I do see. I don't want to give Tom false hope, but I do see Leeds beating Tottenham because it's at Elland Road, well, home or away. Let's be honest, with Tottenham so far this season. But Elland Road, the old place is going to be rocking because obviously fans are going to want to try and do their bit to help the players get over the line and see what happens. this time round. Hope he gets second time lucky and all that as well. Second year will go their way. Because I need reminded on this, by the way, Tom, and anyone else in the chat. Going into the last game of last season, wasn't Leeds in the bottom? Wasn't Leeds actually in the bottom three going into that last game of last season? And Burnley are at home to Newcastle. Newcastle had no 5 for that point. Obviously, Leeds are at home to Leeds are away to Brentford, and obviously Leeds A1 as well. Fino the winner. Oh, is this going to be free? Is this going to be free? Nope. Off the post. Post. Well, I was supposed to say. I love how I root for Ipswich to be right, and Stephanie's rooting for the Leeds people. Okay, I remember that. Oh, you remember that. See, if the worst does happen on Sunday, you can remember that for next season when it comes to Leeds v Ipswich on match day 1 or match. If Leeds were the worst was to happen to Leeds on Sunday, and obviously the fixtures come out late in the summer, and your first game of the season is playing Ipswich, or any point in the season playing Ipswich, and it doesn't clash with an Arsenal game, and it's on TV, we will cover that for you guys on the channel and get you guys both on and just have you out. Yeah, but I'm saying Leeds were in the bottom 3 going into that last game, weren't they? Last season, they were in the bottom 3. Burnley were just above. So the know-how's there from the Leeds players. They had that know-how sort of. They put themselves in that situation before. So if I remember correctly, the only difference is this time it's two other clubs. They need 2 other clubs to lose. Well, they definitely need Everton to lose, and at the worst case scenario, a Leicester to draw. Yes, correct. Yeah, cool. I mean, I don't see Leicester winning it. I don't see Leicester getting anything at West Ham against West Ham. Sorry, if I'm being honest. If West Ham had something to fight for in terms of they weren't in the cup, they weren't a few days away from the cup final themselves in terms of the Conference League, they might have a chance. But certain players will be fighting for their spot and trying to make sure they're getting out 11 for the final in Prague. And because it's in Everton's hands, everyone's sort of writing off everyone else, but saying it's everyone at home, it's Bournemouth on the beach. They ain't going to want to do anything to upset the apple cart there. You never know. Just for the sake of pride, they might just turn up and try to cause a bit of anarchy, a bit of drama maybe. The way the season has ended, though, is the worst thing for Sky, by the way. I've realised that since Monday, they announced obviously they're going to be covering the 2 to 3 games in the relegation, got BT covering the other. This is literally like the worst thing that could have happened for them, because obviously in terms of their perspective, they want to be covering final last day of the season drama for the other side up in the league, at the top of the league and things like that, or Champions League spots or whatever, European spots in general. But obviously, league's wrapped up, Champions League's going to be wrapped up, top 4 itself. Europa League's going to be wrapped up. It is wrapped up. The only real European spot it's something to fight for is Tottenham and between Tottenham and Villa. That is the worst shot in the world from Modric. And De Gea made a meal of it. Yeah. Leicester's journey has been amazing, Sir Stefan. Since they come up till this season, I'll agree with you in that sense. It has been above and beyond the pot, especially the first season back when they did the great escape and against all the odds, got in the running, pulled these results there and survived. And then the following season, they did what they did and winning the league. The Champions League won the following season to the quarterfinals, I think it was, against Atletico. Only lost by a single goal in the end on that side of things. They've flirted a couple of times since then to get back into the Champions League, but fallen short on the last day of the season twice, back to back. They won the FA Cup. Lost, and obviously, and just before that, obviously, their owner passed away sadly in the helicopter crash near the stadium. And then the sun took over, and then there was the pandemic. And it's this sort of it's been a weird one this season. This season's been weird in the sense you didn't expect this to happen to Leicester. But if you look at last season, the Suns were there in terms of they underperformed last year. They didn't. One sec. Oh, Wan-Bissaka. No, nothing. That's it again. Going for it. No, in there. Take it all out. Oh, no. Oh, no, off the line. Thank you very much. Casemiro. If I depressed Tom, have a good evening. I hope I'm not depressed you if I talk about relegation and all that. Oh, yes. I honestly thought I changed the scoreline. Sorry, guys. Sam's mentioned it as well. I've seen Sam mention what are you about? I honestly thought I'd changed it. Oh dear. But yeah, it's sort of what I was saying about Leicester. Like the warning signs were sort of there from last season. It's sort of the club just didn't act, and the whole summer didn't start. I don't think they signed anyone, did they? And when they got rid of Schmeichel, and it was like, we're not going to bother by the new goalkeeper. We're just promoting number 2 that weren't good enough at the time. Oh God! And he stayed number 1 for. Look how long he stayed number 1 for. Danny Ward. Like, bloody hell! It took for literally like 2 games before Brendan Rodgers got sacked for him to be dropped. If I upset Tom by talking about the potential relegation scrap on, well, it isn't potential, but obviously the relegation scrap on Sunday, because it's something we talk about. As soon as you've mentioned the drama of what's coming on Sunday potentially, it's like, no, I'm out of here. I can't be having this. I need to have a good mindset going into Sunday. For the record, I've said it a few times now. I don't want Leeds to go down because I say it again. I'll say it again. The league, the Premier League needs big clubs like Leeds United and all that in the Premier League more than the club needs the league. If that makes sense, because otherwise it's just you're just having shit teams in it for the sake of having shit teams. It's just like, what's the point? And Leeds are a big club. They need to be in the Premier League. Well, the Premier League's better for them being in the Premier League. Yeah. I really hope they do. I really hope while I'm at the game on Sunday that I get news that obviously Leeds have pulled off the Great Escape again and Leicester and Everton go down. Sorry, Kev. aka Kevin Campbell. If you come across this or you come across this little kid now on Twitter, I apologise, but it's a lesser of 2 evils. Everton will come back up eventually. Whereas if Leeds went down, I genuinely fear they wouldn't come straight back up. It'd be back. It'd be like last time they went down. It'd be a while before we see them again, a few years or so. Oh yeah. I'm joking. I know. It's just messing. Oh, Modric. Ball in. No one there. The Championship could have some really big club next year. Could Ipswich bounce to double? Oh, mate. Again, I was saying, 2002 you guys got relegated, wasn't it? Haven't been back since. It's like with Coventry. I'll be honest. I'd rather out of the two options on Saturday, I'd rather Coventry come up because again, part of my growing up at a certain point, Coventry were a Premier League club and they had some cracking players as well. At that point, some being obviously the word. It's been again like Nottingham Forest. It's been over 23, 24 years since Coventry got relegated from the Premier League and haven't been back since. And again, and you look at the turmoil that club and that fan base have been through since they got relegated. They went from their old stadium, moved into the Rico Arena, built a new stadium called obviously the Rico Arena at the time. I don't know if it's called that now. Then because of how much money the owners pumped into building that and making the move and all that, they needed to get promoted within ASAP because they didn't get anywhere near promotion at the time. Financially caught up with them, and they got caught out, and they've been through the club, the fans especially, been put through the ringer. They then had to sell that stadium to sell it off to other people. The ones that were Wasps, basically London Wasps, and then when it all went off, they got changed. They took the London off and changed it to Wasps. But they've now ceased to exist by the looks of it because they got into administration and all that. So there's a potential. I think there's potential they could buy back. They go up on Saturday. They could buy back. They could actually buy back the land again and be comfortable doing it as well. But they've been like League One at one point for a good few years. They were in League One. I remember, what was it, 2013 in the old League Cup? We got them in the League Cup. It was at home. Me and my brother went there. We pumped them 6-0. This is like I think it was 2013. It's either 2012 or 2013. I can't remember what year it was now, but I've got the photos up. I've got the photos and all that as well. Walcott scored. Oxlade-Chamberlain came on and scored. It was up early on in Chamberlain's Arsenal career as well. But we absolutely pumped them. This is when they were League One under Mark Robbins the first time round. Before he left that time, and obviously he's come back since. And then the second stint been fucking brilliant because obviously the club's got itself in order, his house in order, in his second stint, and he's been able to do what he wanted to do all along, and basically, they were promoted last a couple of years back into League One, wanted them to stay up, they did, and then they've built from that, and they've heard they're 90 minutes away or plus, potentially extra time or penalties away from getting back into the Premier League, and being financially amazingly better off than what they've been in for a long time. So Ipswich, imagine 3 years on the bounce. Obviously, was it 23 years of 23 years of Nottingham Forest? They came up. How many years? 20 odd years of Coventry City. They came up for the playoffs this year, back to back. That's weird. But imagine to say Ipswich would have come up as well after being out for over 20 odd out of the Prem for over 20 years, and they come up next season by automatically all playoffs. That would be mental. Well, I'll be talking football. I don't know. I'd rather talk football than the other stuff we talked about earlier. I'll put it that way. More uplifting. No, exactly. Especially bloody Luton. I mean, who'd have thought Luton a few years back would be, fast forward a few years, they'll be on the verge of, again, on it from their perspective, having a chance to be playing for a spot in the Premier League next season, especially in the four in the playoffs were Luton, Coventry, Sunderland. Again, obviously, I got the turmoil as well recently. They could have had a back-to-back playoff promotions themselves. They got to the final and all that. But a Sunderland team on the Training Mowbray and a Middlesbrough team that have been massively resurgent in their start of the season when Sid Markout came in and were heavy favourites out of the four to go up via the playoffs. No, fair play to them. Because Luton haven't been in the Premier League in the Premier League era, have never played Premier League football. It's refreshing to see. It's refreshing to see them sort of teams have that chance. Even if it doesn't work out on the day, they have that chance. And Coventry City haven't been, as I say, over 20 odd years, over 20 years since they're last in the Prem. Everything they've been through as a club, as a fan base, etc. Sorry, and so right, good luck to. I'm afraid, even though obviously Luton's got closer to fucking Coventry, I'll be honest, I'm backing sort of hoping that Coventry come up because of how long it's been and what they've been through, that the fans have been through and all that. Oh dear. In 59 to 62, 3 promotions on the bounce for Ipswich that culminated in the town being champions of England. Fuck the budgies. This game's dead. I'm sorry. I don't know why I did this, guys. I really don't. What was I thinking? Christ. It's the most one-sided game in the world. I know it involves Chelsea, and that doesn't say much, but it is poor. 2 promotions and champions of England. Sorry. That's fine. No, as I say, I've said it before. I like it when teams are coming up from the Championship to Premier League and all that. I like it when it's different. It's a different team. It's not the same. It's not like doing what your rivals did in terms of nights recently, going up, down, up, down, up, down. And West Brom did it at one point, up, down, up, down. It's like, it does my head in because you're. Especially, I believe Knights did it deliberately as well. The up down thing, because they knew they were too good for the squad at the time was too good for the Championship, but not quite good for Premier League. Instead of strengthening their Premier League, the squad for the Premier League life, especially the second time round, this is accepted and take the payment. And obviously it backfired this year because they didn't even get nowhere near the playoffs. Subs, by the way, Mudryk and Kai Havertz have been taken off, and Christian Pulisic and João Felix have been brought on for Chelsea in the 64th minute. But yeah, as I was like, when Huddersfield came up few years back, I was like, because obviously the historic bond as well between Arsenal and Huddersfield with Herbert Chapman. But I was like, you know what? They haven't been in the Premier League. Let's see what they can bring to us. And Blackpool came up back in 2010 or 11, whatever it was. Again, refreshing, different team, never been in a league before. See what they almost survived as well. Let's not forget they took it to the last game and they almost survived. Barring 2 late goals from Man United, they would have stayed up. If they didn't concede the 2 late goals, they would have stayed up. And that would have been that would have been actually mental. You think that season as well, in the home game against Man United, I think they beat Man United, didn't they, in the home game? In Blackpool, basically. Yeah. when Hull was it? What year was it when Hull came up? First time, I mean, against Bristol. It was between them and Bristol City for the playoffs. I didn't mind either really. It's like neither team's been in Premier League. Let's see whoever comes up. Good luck to them. And Dean Windass comes. The thing is, everyone, again in that final, everyone was getting behind Bristol City because they could actually finish third Bristol City that season. They just missed out on the automatic spot, so everyone's sort of really heavily favoured Bristol City, and they didn't give Hull a chance basically. Dean Windass said, "Hold my beer," and went at the tender age of 30. What's it, 36, 37? Pinged it. Top bins and basically didn't look back. And again, and it was like either way, and that game was like, yeah, cool. But it came up. They were refreshing. They took it down to the last day and stayed up by the skin of their teeth. By the way, they stayed up. They went down the following season though, but still, and they've come back once since, and then yeah, they said about that season about how fucking on the eve of the season, the manager walks out. Steve Bruce walks out and says, "No, can't be doing this. You're not giving me what I need. I need players basically. 13 outfield players isn't good enough, and a goalkeeper isn't good enough. I need help." Mark Phelan came, and again, they gave it a fight. They went down, but they gave it a fight. And Hull nearly went out of business. They did because obviously the previous owners just took the money, like the previous Blackpool owners, the previous ones when Blackpool came up. They just took the money from when they went in the Premier League and stored it elsewhere, so we say. And try to stow it away elsewhere for their own personal means. Instead of use it to reinvest in the club and all that, yeah. And it almost fucked both clubs. So yeah. It does exactly. And as for the last 19 years, league-wise, it's been an absolute doom and nutting, basically, situation from an Arsenal league-wise perspective. Hopefully that hopefully that all comes to an end soon, though. As I almost choked to death on my own saliva. Could my throat weren't clear. Hopefully the good times are coming back at Arsenal in terms of league-wise. I mean, oh dear, busy summer for both the men and women's teams. By the way, fashion-wise. Oh dear, because let's see what business we get done going forward now. But I've been saying, I've said it on the air, I'll say it again. This isn't a one-off fluke season for Arsenal. We will dust ourselves down, use that agony, and go again. And hopefully go one step further this next time round. Hopefully. Too much, which I don't. I've had a bit of I don't know, there's something going about, but there's a cough going about, and I've caught it in the last week or so. It's worse last week than this, and I feel like I'm coming to the end of it. The worst of it's out of the way. But yeah, let's need a bit of every now and then. Especially when I'm talking like this, as often as I have been in the last hour and 44 minutes. Oh, it's been a bit needing to rehydrate basically, and otherwise it's too dry. And if I giggle or go to laugh, I start joking. Like just sore. I've got strepsils. What was it? The ones I was using at the start of this. I got this cough early last week. Sorry, when I woke up and I had a bit of a cough on me and all that. Worse than what I've got now. It is getting better. The worst of it's out of the way, touch wood. Strepsils week I've got is blackcurrant flavoured strepsils, extra triple strength. Sorry. So hence why. But yeah, doesn't help when we've had. To be honest, this week itself's been decent in terms of the weather. Like about around 19 to 21, give or take every day, and around that sort of ballpark. Oh, there's a penalty. There you go, penalty to Man United. Fucking hell. The first penalty, apparently, with one game after this to go, this is the first penalty. What's the fun of doing, the idiot? This is the first penalty that Chelsea have given away in the Premier League all season. Behave yourselves. Imagine that. No matter how bad they've been up to this point, this is the first penalty they've given away in the league. Okay, why did I do this? So all we've done tonight is watch a game where it confirms Man United. We knew it anyway. We knew they're going to be firm in the Champions League, but it's just like, yeah. But if I was here on Sunday, I wouldn't be doing this tonight. But it is what it is. Kept was going. He ain't getting anywhere near this. Trust me. I'm sorry to hear about that, Stefan. Consider my condolences and all that. Oh dear. Bruno versus Kepa. Bruno's got to score this. Surely he's going to score this. Yep. Kepa just fucks about on the line, fucks about, and then goes. Okay, you're gone. Sort of, does like, sort of adjust himself to that side and falls to his knees. The ball gets passed into the opposite corner. Just gets passed down the middle of the goal. Just runs up to him and goes, and pass it into the net. Thank you very much. I swear Frank Lampard was brought in purposely to make fucking Graham Potter look good. I swear it's got to be the case. How they've won one game all season. All season. That's going to be going down, for fuck's sake. They've won one since Lampard's come along. They've won one game in the league, and that's against Bournemouth, and then Bournemouth were safe by then. They've lost every game other than that game. And now it's all kicking off, so it's kicked off. Bruno's upset someone, or someone's upset him. I don't know what, but it's been looked at by VAR. What's happening there? So Bruno's doing his usual celebration. And then, I don't know, Enzo maybe said something, but then Fred and Sancho started shoving him, pushing and shoving him. He's telling them he's just mouthing off back. He ain't physically doing nothing wrong. But Sancho's really getting his hair up. And players have had, Kepa's had to run out of goal and basically try to split them apart. Sancho's the main reactionary to this. No, there's a different angle now. So, as the main players are celebrating with Bruno, Enzo Fernandez has decided to stroll up to where they're celebrating, and then literally as they're breaking apart, he gets in between them and literally in front of Sancho, starts talking, saying something, and that's when it all got a bit heated, so I'd say. But amongst all that, VAR checked and nothing's been done apart from the left back of that's been booked. But again, that shows on the attack is before. There's going to be 4. Oh, no, not got a block in there. How's Mudryk playing? We'll put it this way: he was hooked off by Fat Frank Watt. That's finally change the poll. Get rid of the poll now. No point of doing that now. He was hooked off by Fat Frank about 20 minutes ago. he had one. He had at 0-0 had a chance to score a goal tonight, Colonel, and scuffed his line. So he literally kicked the ball came across and he kicked the air instead. 10 votes in that poll, by the way, tonight. 20%. I wonder who that 20% was, Chris. Saying yes, that Frank and Masterclass incoming. 80% of you said, of course not. Don't be silly. Oh dear, you gotta laugh. Basically, yeah, they've been shit. Mudryk has been what he's been for the last 6 or 5.5 months. Shit. Non-existent. Lacking in product. Anyway, hope you're okay, Colonel, by the way. Oh dear. Gotta laugh. But as it stands, tables come up. Because Man United are winning, they're going to go into the last game of the season in third and be in their hands to hold out onto third by 2 points. Or Newcastle can nick back third. Basically, that's going to be a shootout between third and fourth, basically. But either way, they're both in the Champions League next season. Fucking hell. Chelsea is shocking. Rashford, wide. It was actually quite enjoyable. Saw a lot of old Hazard mates. Steve would have enjoyed it. Cool. Comment of cocky of Chavsky. 19 years we had this, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. As a collective, we've had 19. Oh my god, what was Kepa doing? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, what was Kepa doing? Chelsea trying to play out from the back, basically. Further Kepa, he's obviously continued playing out from the back. Failed to put it through. He tried to get to the final, but find him out the way or whatever. Bruno's got hold of the ball, passed it on to Rashford. Rashford just gone. It's going in one way or the other. What was Fofana doing? It's Fofana that made the mistake. Sorry, my apologies. What was Fofana doing, mate? Literally, he couldn't make it up. But as I say, this has been 19 years. 19 years of fucking cocky Chelsea scum in the making. They've had their 19. I said this last summer as well about Chelsea. This would happen and all that. It ain't going to be the same. Even with all the money he's got, and he spunked a lot of money, by the way, since then, by the way. So he could have proved me wrong, but no. And I've been proved right. It's back to the good old days when Chelsea was shit before the money came rolling in at Chelsea with the Odegaard. And am I going to love it? Of course I am. Fucking hell. I need to get a new tape on my TV, actually, don't I? What TV I'm with? Open up another tab. I wonder if they've dropped the position since we've been live. Oh, Mallorca beat the racist Valencia 1-0 in La Liga. Cool. Bit of karma there at Valencia after your antics this week. Osasuna winning 1-0 against Atletico Bilbao. They're still ongoing. Right, tables. There we go. Premier League table. Thank you very much. Oh, there's more kicking off here. Fucking what's going on now? Chelsea are 12 and 43 points with -6 goal difference. And Wolves are 13th on 41 points. Well, lowest thing, sorry, Wolves, we can't have it for the greater good. And we want our 3 points to finish the season on a high. We can't let you win, sorry. So Chelsea finishing 12th in the season. Palace, Crystal Palace, or a point above Chelsea. KNL. "19 unbearable years." Yeah. What's the point of this? 81 minutes, by the way. Got 9 minutes plus injury time to go. Fucking hell. And Fat Frank is making a triple sub. He's bringing Ziyech on, Loftus-Cheek, and one of the new boys. By the looks of it, is it the attacking Fofana? I think it is. There could be 14th if results went against them this weekend, but they're 12th. Then we can't lose to we. Yeah. So yeah, attacking Fofana's on, Ziyech, and Loftus-Cheek, Takawa, Mudryk, and Gallagher have gone off. Come on, Arsenal fan, it's unbearable. But everyone else. Chelsea on the road to finishing 14th as long as West Ham and Palace. And they're going to season Newcastle battle on Sunday. Okay, now. There's Newcastle. Oh my god, Newcastle ain't Tottenham ain't winning. Chelsea ain't winning on fucking Sunday, put it that way. Is this gonna be 5? Imagine we get 2 more goals, it's like 6-0 by full time. And to think Spuds turned Roman's money down. Yeah, they thought he was joking. They didn't think he was. That was in the long run. That was fantastic as an Arsenal. That's been fantastic. Genius on Tottenham, thinking it was all a joke. It was some sort of TV show joke bullshit. They genuinely thought it was like a prank TV show, and they were being had and all that. Well, well done, Spursy being Spursy. Thank God, it would have been fucking worse. Oh my God, it would have been worse having 19 years of that. Jesus Christ. Yeah, as a player, yeah. Frank Lampard as a player, yeah. There's nothing. Can't discredit his playing career. Like, what would be the point? The proof's in the pudding. Individual accolades and all that, and also team accolades as well. But as a manager, he's just not there. He's not it. As people mentioned before, he took over a Derby team that was expected to be in the playoffs, and lost in the final. He then took over a Chelsea team that even with a transfer ban were expected him to get in the top 4, and he got them into the top 4. And then he almost got. Oh, I thought it was 5. I genuinely thought that was 5 from Garnacho. And obviously Everton, he sort of almost relegated. He saved them last year, but he's almost got them relegated this season. You know. You can't make that shit up. You can't. You genuinely couldn't. I remember being at school as well at that time. It was just coming to the end of the school year, and that all took place, and the takeover happened and all that. And it was and obviously we're all there sitting, we're all there getting ready. Remember, we were at PE as well, getting James was actually doing PE that day. We're playing football as well that day, ironically. We were getting changed and all that. And that's a bit of a discussion. Like Chelsea was just a bit on the verge of being taken over because Tottenham basically went. The guy, this Russian guy, is coming. He's going to buy Chelsea. He was going to buy Tottenham, but they fought. And we just sat there. What the fuck? And then when it's like we didn't. And obviously, as an Arsenal fan, Man United fan, we didn't expect the immediate emergence of what we saw with Chelsea. But it is what it is. But with that, we've had Man City. Chelsea started this goes under the radar by the media and all that. But Chelsea started this bullshit. The way football's gone in England in general, not just in Europe, but in terms of England in general. Allowing Roman to take over and change the landscape of the way football's run and seen. Then allowed 4 or 5 years later, the Man City owners to come in and the Sheikhs to come in there and take over there and do what they've done. And then with that, we've now got the Saudis at bloody Newcastle. And that's only a matter of time before they catch up and turn into the new Man City. Because I want Chelsea. Chelsea started this. They won't like to admit it, but they started all this. If that hadn't happened, and none of that had happened, we wouldn't be facing what we see nowadays in Premier League, in football in general. PSG, the ownership of PSG would never have happened. For a start, there wouldn't be a Qatari trying to buy Man United as we speak either. Because of what these owners are trying to do, sport washing. It's become a thing now. So there's no going back now. Sadly. Oh dear. I remember it well. He just splashed an insane amount of cash for the time. To be fair to Ronnie, he did right by Chelsea. Yeah, but it was a nightmare. As an owner, he did what he stood by what he said basically as a game, and he's like, I want to take this team to Champions League and League titles and be the biggest team in the world, and not just in the world but in the world and all that. And he didn't care in terms of because of the financial how he could just straight away go bang the way he did. He did it. He was a man of his word. And for that side of things, in terms of willingly just going, yeah, you want this one, that one, I don't care. You're cool. There's the money. Do what you want to do. As long as you win titles, I don't care. Off you go. If you don't, you're sacked. And from that perspective, yeah. But obviously, the other perspective is just where that money came from, and the implications, obviously, coming to the end. Sorry, of his ownership at Chelsea last year. Whereas obviously Chelsea fans genuinely thought, and they still believe, by the way, some of them still believe that this is a one-off season, this is a transition season for Todd Bowley and the ownership, and they will learn from their mistakes, and next season they're going to be back fighting for top four and potentially a title and all that, all the money they've spent. And then Poch coming in, they believe suddenly, like, okay, cool. And I'm going to be hearing this some next year saying, hopefully, but with us lifting the title, but either way, because they won't be nowhere near the title. Yeah, Felix, consolation. Consolation for Chelsea. Yeah, Felix, the guy that didn't start tonight, on loan from Atletico Madrid, scores a goal against the former Atletico goalkeeper in De Gea. Just outside the box as well, just around the D area. United switched defensively, just switched off there. He just got the ball in the centre circle, just ran. Literally just inside the D, bang. Got a shot off. Wasn't the best shot in the world, to be honest, but De Gea doesn't get down quick enough. Yeah. Is the 89th minute? No comeback. No. What about to say? He's come back on? No. And this is again a failed team, not just of United, but both Manchester teams this season. That they'll be coasting in games, or in the attacking sense. They'll be coasting. They'll be 5. Should have been 5, but goalkeeper gets a foot onto that and pushes it over a corner. They'll be coasting in terms of an attacking sense, and then suddenly they'll switch off and they'll ship a shitty goal. I mean, before the game came up, they were showing that the top 5 contenders for the Golden Glove this season. Obviously, De Gea's won it with 16 clean sheets or whatever. But out of the 4 clubs that are going to finish in the top 4, Man City, Arsenal, United, and Newcastle, only 3 of them clubs, their goalkeepers are in the top 5. And have a guess which one of the top 4 isn't in that top 5 that could have was in a chance of most clean sheets. It goes to prove my point. What I was saying all season about a certain club. For £2. You know. What is it? What the fucking share's worth? Like a shilling or something? Bloody hell. Casemiro. Gary Neville was giving Casemiro a player of the match. Fucking hell. Of all the players you could have given the player in the match, you're giving it to the DM because he scored the opening goal. Ooh. 4 minutes into time, we're into 1 minute of that already, so 3 minutes to go. Yay. Oh dear. Honest God. Oh God. Jesus Christ. How is that even possible? That can't be. That cannot be. In more than no, what? There's no way. There's no. I don't know. Fucking hell. You'll pull my leg, aren't you? You really try to pull my leg. Oh dear. All the Man United fans are now leaving in their clothes. The empty seats are starting to appear in the lower tiers of the far stand on the screen. Literally, fans are actually getting up. Instead of considering their team's won a trophy this season, they could win a cup double in 10 days' time. They're qualifying for Champions League, and there's fans that can't even be bothered to stay and applaud and thank their players and management for the season they've had at Old Trafford. Wow. Smile, Frank. You might want to call your mate James Corden and see if he can get you an extension at Chelsea. Another year. I'll piss myself, I would. They never do, Stefan, they never do. Oh dear. So Liverpool are going to be going here and there. Whoa, do. And that's it. The full-time whistle's gone. The top four clubs are officially wrapped up completely now. Man City top, Arsenal second, and third and fourth spot is to be fought out on the final day between Manchester United and Newcastle. What currently is Man United third, Newcastle fourth. We've got 2 points separating them basically. Then we've got Liverpool in fifth on 66 points. They cannot catch Newcastle or United now. But yeah, as I say, Liverpool, we're hearing the lovely tune of whoa, whoa, do. All fucking season, motherfuckers. You've had a little Champions League nights back and all that. Now you're back to what you were before Klopp came along and saved you in Europa fucking League. That's one positive to take out tonight in terms of Liverpool to Scouse Bar, so they can be Champions League next season to win my nights. Woo! Because I guarantee if we get into the knockouts when it's like quarterfinals onwards, if we get that far, guaranteeing Arsenal versus Liverpool, and famously, when that's happened, we get screwed over at Anfield. So I don't want that again. Missing the United meltdowns. It's only for a brief period. They'll be back again even in 10 days' time when they get battered in the cup final, or next season when they get nothing's been changed in the summer, and it's just the fallout again, starting all over again. Apparently, the traffic outside Old Trafford is a nightmare. So I don't understand. Well, it's literally, I've been to Old Trafford years ago now, but I've been there a couple of times over years and years ago. As I say, the stadium is literally like scaffolding FC, basically, like all the scaffolding all over the fucking gaff. As you go up the stairs and all that malarkey, it's just like it is a fucking shithole. But it's literally as well. You've got a stadium, and to the left of it, it's like the motorway going up to Liverpool and Newcastle and all that, and the Trafford Centre. Oh dear. But the Man United will be back next season. Don't worry, Stefan. They'll be back. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh, coming at the last minute, Russ pops in. How you doing, Russ? By the way, Russ, and just to remind you, I've checked in on those. I don't know. I'm assuming you haven't got your giveaway thing from way back when, your book and all that. I've sent out another one. That'll be with you on Saturday, my friend. That's all right. Still signing and all that, but I've sent out another one. So let me know if you do get there on Saturday. Let me know. My old boy dad used to go to Old Trafford and Main Road regularly. He was stationed in Manchester in the RAF. Oh, fair enough. That's cool. If the cameraman could stand still for 5 minutes and not fucking circle around in circles. Again, literally like the entire lower tiers pretty much empty out. Everyone is leaving. The United fans are not sticking around to applaud their players whatsoever. So the game never was all like, they'll do the lap of honour at the end of the game and all that. Like they'll go off and do their lap of honour with the management and all that. There ain't going to be no one there to do it. They're literally just going, bye, out of here. This is the last game at Old Trafford this season, but no, we're not sticking around for this one. Thank you, bye. Mate, the camera guy needs to stand still for 5 minutes, mate. There's no need for him to walk around in circles. Just stand still, focus on the player that's talking, and stop moving around in fucking circles. And you know what, with that, as there's not much really to talk about now in terms of the game, it is what it is. As expected, United walked away with it in the end. A very late consolation goal by João Felix for Chelsea. I apologise again. Is it raining in Manchester? I have no idea. Normally it is up there, but on me again. And again. That was vile. Oh no, West Ham win. They could finish that. Oh no, they're taking now 40. They have to win and Chelsea get battered as well. Themselves lose themselves and they could finish 13th actually, because West Ham win. Golden was what, and obviously Chelsea were losing. Got to get back by Newcastle. West Ham are leapfrogging into 11th, and Yeah, drag West Ham and Wolves down. Oh my days. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. West Ham, as long as we win our game, West Ham do your job, guys. Against Leicester. Send Leicester down. Sorry, Leicester, but you don't deserve it. You don't deserve to stay up. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Apparently, the stands have got holes in the roofs, but about time they fix them. That's been a thing for years as well. That's been said about Old Trafford for years. The roof. I mean, ironically, this season we're having issues at the end. There's a couple parts of our roof, not all the way around. In I think the east stand, the east I think now. So you got the clock end, North Bank, and then North Central. I think now it's the east or west. East stand. I think they had to fucking it's been played out and all that. So I'm trying to think. Either way, I think it's the. I believe it's the west stand itself. Sorry. Right around the middle of the roof in itself in that stand at the front. There's a massive hole in it. So earlier in the season, I think it was the Lisbon game. I think it was a nighttime game my brother went to. It might have been Lisbon. When it at one point absolutely chucked it down, and literally it just where it's on the roof. It's going, and the fans are literally in their seats. Have had the pictures of no, we're not getting soaked for this. Part of the sleeves, but no pun intended there, and went up into the bloody concourse where you get drinks on and kept dry there. It's like fuck this. And I think there's one in the clock end as well. But we're actually all working on that. They've actually got they've had the workers in throughout the season when there's been no match days, and they are trying to address that. So to be fair to the club, the owners and all, they are actually looking to work on sort that. The pig and Alice are funny when they lose. When Alice said we could turn into Arsenal, but at least we aren't bitter. You mental? It's mental. I've mentioned it before. It's all about fucking bitter. I mean, literally anything to defend number 11 at Man United in his situation. See if I can use his Arsenal as a battering ram, for fuck's sake. Even this season, in terms of how we've been doing this season, just focus on us, like focus on your own team, love. Even when Arsenal have no sort of impact on Man United in their results, it's just refers back to us. It's like, go away, focus on your own team. Oh dear. I mean, I remember the clock end. The old clock end. Yeah. I'll start crying. I miss Highbury. I genuinely do miss Highbury so much. Oh dear. Got Rich in the chat. Pick up Rich, Man United fan. I bet you're happy, but you're one of us for next season in the Champions League. Welcome to the club. Officially. Great win. Chelsea are so bad. I mean, yeah, mate. Jesus Christ. I swear. I'm being genuine here. I swear, it's like James Corden and Todd Bowley went, how can we make the fans realise how good Graham Potter was as a Chelsea manager? What potential was there if we sack him? I know. Let's bring back Frank Lampard. And as I said earlier, how many Premier League games has he been in charge of? They won one. And that's against a already safe Bournemouth. And they've lost every other game, and even in the Champions League, they've lost both legs. Oh dear, same Liverpool miss out. I've always got the piss on Liverpool in doing that. After the little stint back in the Champions League era, they're back to their before Klopp coming along and saved them era in terms of whoa, do. Is Lampard the worst manager ever? Ooh, that's a good question. He ain't got a clue. The thing is, he doesn't take after his dad's brain. So it's like he does definitely he definitely has inherited the Redknapp genes in a bad sense. Trust me. Oh dear, you just got to look at. You put it this way: if you're not a football fan, but you said these two are like Frank Lampard and Frank. This guy Frank, and this guy Jamie. They're both related. If you didn't know any football, you didn't know their surnames and all. You said that you was told that he's called Jamie. His name's Frank. They are related. How closely related do you think they are? You'd think they were brothers. That's how much of the Redknapp gene that Frank Juniors took on. Stefan, to be fair, he's still learning to be fair to him. Amazing how Arteta's not getting that fucking. Has never had that leeway though. And again, we've said this numerous times. I said it tonight. His first job in charge of Derby, he took a team that was in terms of Derby at a time that was expected to get in the Championship playoffs, but finished in the playoffs, got them in the playoffs, and lost. He then ran off to Chelsea straight away. And took that team, even with a transfer ban, was expected to get top four and got them top four. He then, after being eventually sacked from there, this is how bad of a manager he is. Let's be honest here. When he was first sacked under Roman, the exact same team was then took over by Tuchel, and Tuchel won a Champions League with that team, for fuck's sake. What does that tell you? And then obviously he's gone on to take over Everton. He kept them up. I think the Everton fans demanded him, by the way, over a Portuguese. I can't remember the guy's name, but the Portuguese manager they were initially going to go for. But no, the fans know best. Kept him up by the skin of their teeth with a game to spare. And then this season, it's just like from day one, you could tell there could be a long season of Everton. And he got a few freak results against Man City away, especially things like that. He'd nick a few freak results here and there, but never get a run together. A good run, I mean, not a bad one. Obviously, he's getting bad runs, but that's the reason we got sacked in the end. And obviously, Dice just took over. And in this instance, in terms of Everton, they look like they might stay up, but it's not done. And Sean Dodge is an experienced manager, and even he's found it hard with this squad of players to get some good consistency out of them to put them away from the relegation scrap. So I'll give Frank a bit of leeway there in that sense. But he'd come back for a part-time role at Chelsea for the last few games of the season and won one game, lost to the rest. He's a slow learner. He's as I said, he takes after the Redknapp gene. That's all I'm saying. I need to head off and set up on my stream. Don't think many Chelsea fans will tune in. You never know. Luca might join. He's a football fan of all clubs apart from Arsenal. He'll support quite literally every other club, but not support the club he came to support. If that makes sense. So you might see Luca in the chat promoting his channel. If you know, you know. Not even the high, just like, I'm live, guys. Look at me. But yeah, good luck to yourself, Rich, on that side of things. I might pop in a bit as well, just in the chat. Might say hi. It's amazing how these guys still get jobs. Any other profession you would think about change, of course. Yeah, change. Yeah. Oh dear God, imagine that. Again, I've said this before. Look at Sol Campbell, and then he hasn't worked out of him in terms of his managerial career so far. But as an ex-player, he didn't get the opportunities that Lampard and Gerrard have got in terms of Championship or Rangers, any decent SPL teams, anything like that. He had to fucking go from the bottom and work his backside off and literally bare minimum budgets, basically. Bargain-based basement budgets. Or was it Macclesfield Town and Southend United? Of what league? I'm trying to think what league I win now. League 2? Is it League 2 or League 1? I think he kept Macclesfield. I believe he did keep Macclesfield Town up as well. the season that he came in and all that, and then obviously he tried to stay on for the following season, but financially it weren't viable for him to stay. He tried everything to help out as best as he could, but obviously with that, and obviously he had to leave, and then obviously it did eventually go down, but it went on him. And he took over with Southend, was the next Southend United. You think after what he did at Maxfield in terms of a better option would come along. Second spell. Second stint at the job. Nope. Southend United, of all due respect, Southend fucking United. I know he didn't cover himself in glory, but you know what I mean. But then you got Frank Lampard, first job, Derby County, the Championship, and at that time, a team that was hunting for promotion via playoffs or automatically. Steven Gerrard's first stint as the main man. Rangers. Fucking Rangers. Fucking, what was it? Paul Ince had to fucking work his way up as well. Didn't exactly have it easy, handed to him on a fucking plate back in the day. Oh dear, it is what it is. I only like Ipswich, Celtic, and Cheatalona. And they are cheats. They are literally, before you even come there and go, no, they're not. Look at Real Madrid. Yeah, Madrid, I'm not doubting Real Madrid, but you don't forget, mate, Barcelona are currently being investigated by UEFA and La Liga for match fixing, going all the way back to 2004. That's all I'm saying. That explains. If that's the case, that explains that fucking Champions League final in 2006. That's all I'm saying. That explains so much. Oh dear, but with that, we are going to wrap things up, guys. Thanks for popping along and keeping me company and keeping the chat going back and forth. We did scale off from football for a brief 20-25 minutes, weirdly, of all topics as well. We did go on that topic, but anyway, it is what it is. I said I will be back tomorrow doing 2 uploads, be either live or actual upload. You know what I'm saying? Either way, you're going to get 2 match reviews. First one will be for the Arsenal versus Aston Villa game for the women's WSL final game of the season, as the girls look to secure their top 3 Champions League spot for next season. And the second one will be a preview ahead of Arsenal's, the men's team's final game against, I think now, Wolves at home. And then obviously I'll be covering the women's game on Saturday. Hopefully I'll get a couple guys on as well, as it is the last game and all. It's a Saturday. There's no football one in this and the other. See, we can get a couple guys on as well to join us with that one. And then, as I say, on Sunday I'm at the game myself and my brother. But I will be trying to find someone to cover the channel for the day on Sunday as well. So keep an eye out for that. And I'll keep you updated tomorrow on that, by the way. Or Saturday. I'll keep you updated on that. Aside from that, if you are new to the channel and you enjoy these sort of streams where we just talk either football and then bollocks, basically have a bit of a laugh along the way, and then what we do with that, and also you like the other stuff that we do on this channel, the podcast and things like, and the other stuff we do during the summer off season. Do subscribe now. Do subscribe. Sorry, do smash that like button. All completely free. You don't get charged for it. It's YouTube, obviously. If you want to become a member of the channel, you can. It's 99p or £2.99. They are the level of memberships. The prices will never hike up ever on this channel, by the way. It's a month-by-month basis. All the perks are listed for both individual memberships, etc. And yeah, whatever membership you do pick, you will be contacted straight away privately with a unique lifetime a lifetime discount code of 20% off to purchase any Arsenal merchandise, official channel merchandise. Sorry, not Arsenal, Mr. Arsenal podcast merchandise. Basically, go from hoodies to t-shirts to cups, water bottles, you name it. We've got it so far at this moment in time, including for a limited time until literally Monday morning. when these will no longer be in stock, the one-off limited edition mug celebrating the women's team winning the Conti Cup this season against Chelsea. Dear. Like I said, that particular cup mug will only be available between now as of some point early Monday, around probably. You know what? I'll give you till lunchtime Monday. So about between 12 and 1, and then that's it. Once it's gone, it's gone. Hopefully join you to talk shit, but it's obviously anything a bit risky we don't touch on. I don't mention. I was like, yeah, move on, leave you guys to it. But I'll be like, yeah, move on to the next. I'll still I'll just find something else to move on to, guys. But until then, enjoy the rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, wherever you are in the world. And as always, up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.